Hey guys, Colleen here. I'm a little under the weather and my phone is broken, so bear with me. I know it's always something, but alas, she prevails. I wanted to make a quick video today because my friend Dave Lee sent me an awesome piece that I wanted to talk a little bit about. Before we get there, I wanted to make an announcement. If you're in Southern California, on March 16th, it's a Saturday, my friend Pat Kaufman is coming in from New York, and he's a amp technician out there in Brooklyn, out of Main Drag Music. And he's coming out here and we're gonna be teaching an intro to tube amps class. So we're gonna be talking about like a brief introduction on amp safety, how tube amps work, guitar tone in the music that we all love, and the amps that make that music. So it's gonna be a little bit of everything. If you're interested in the class, please shoot me an email. I'll include all of the information in the description. The class is gonna be about 3 hours. It includes a homemade lunch. We're gonna be doing our favorite, of course, which is like East Coast and Chicago Italian food. It's gonna be a really fun time. This piece, it has likely been sitting in storage for decades, given that it's almost 80 years old and still looks brand new. This is a tube tester. This is a model 777 type 7A, and I believe these were released in 1946. So check it out. Here's the outside of the case. Awesome leather handle. And here's the badge showing Weston 777 type 7A. And Weston was based out of Newark, New Jersey. And it looks like they made like a lot of test equipment. They appeared in a lot of the old electronic and radio magazines and catalogs from that time period. Even the lock is gorgeous. Looks like it was manufactured by Eagle Lock Company out of Connecticut. This is back when every little piece of hardware on this unit was probably manufactured in the US. The switches, the knobs, everything. We'll get a closer look at that. All right, so here it is. The only type of tube I'd really be able to use this for is octal tubes, so output tubes like 6V6, 6L6, EL34. It doesn't have the ability to test 9-pin tubes, but that's okay. Over here, this is like the test data. So basically, you find the tube that you are testing, and then it'll kind of tell you where to set all of the dials and switches on this unit in order to test the tube. Check out how beautiful these switches are. And these knobs, like, are you kidding me? They're so Art Deco. I really want to make repros of these. And this is basically the meter which informs you whether or not your tube is good or bad. These units can't really test for like noise. It can't really test the tube operation under the conditions that they're in a guitar amp. But if you have a box of like really old tubes and you just want to do a quick check just to like really know off the bat if something's bad, then this is a good first test to put them through. All right, so I'm going to show you guys a little bit about how this works. I've messed with this one a little bit beforehand. It's not necessarily functioning properly. The calibration is off. I've tried calibrating it and it just won't get there. So I'll show you guys what I mean. But I mean, for a really old unit, I'm not necessarily surprised, but I don't really use tube testers. I like to test tubes in circuit for noise, hear how they sound, take my measurements, look at it on the scope, all that stuff. For now, like, this is just a really cool piece to have and mess with. I'll show you guys a little bit about how it works. I'm gonna be using this RCA 6V6 tube, and we have to refer to the tube test data here to see what settings everything should be at. And then next we look at the tube selector, which is number 42. 41, 42. So we do this before we put the tube in. So here we go down to 6V6. And filament selector should be at 6. That's because the filament voltage for 6v6 is 6. So we go here to the filament selector. And now it's time to install the tube. So some of you may not know, octal tubes have a little plastic key in the center, and there's like a little notch that coordinates with the notch on the tube socket. So this is where we're running into an issue. At this point, we should be able to turn the circuit selector on to the line check, and then we should be able to calibrate the dial to lie right at that line right there. But I'm not able to. So maybe I'm not doing something properly, or there's just something wrong and I need to do a little bit deeper digging in order to get this calibrated properly. So that's about as far as we can go on the dial. So we're not totally calibrated. But just for the sake of this video, I'll show you guys what we would do next. So our next step would be to refer back to the data here. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, 6v6. So the in positions that are shown are B, C, and D. So one by one, we're going to flip switch B, then C, then D, and check for shorts. And then you do a little tap. If this light illuminated, then that indicates a short. So this tube called for B, C, and D, so we'll continue. All right, so apparently no shorts. Cool. And then the next step would be to turn this to normal tubes. And then we switch the in position switches to reflect what we had already tested here, which is B, C, and D. Oh, mama. Green zone, but we don't know how accurate this is. I know this tube is probably good, but since the calibration was off, you know. But this is just for the sake of showing you guys how this works. Then there's other tests you can do, and it goes into a little bit more detail. But those are kind of the basics, and I'm really excited about this. I am excited to get it like fully calibrated correctly. Definitely, if you're interested in this Intro to Tube Amps class in March, please shoot me an email. This is the only class planned for LA for the foreseeable future, so get in while you can. More videos to come. I hope you guys are all doing great out there. Spring is coming. I'm so excited for that. But thank you for tuning in. If any of you have the same type of tube tester, let me know. We can form a club. But in the meantime, I'll see you guys next time, and I'll sign off with a word from our sponsor.
You know, Hank, I've got all these demos that I recorded years ago that I would love to upload, to share and stream. So I decided, why not try out DistroKid? As we know, DistroKid is a service that helps musicians upload their music to all major streaming platforms. The app is so user-friendly. You can upload album art straight from your phone, and it's really easy to input all of the track information, and then you just upload the track, and boom, you're done. Viewers of my channel get 30% off at the link I will post below. It's distrokid.com/VIP/Fazio. So go check it out, get those dusty old demos or your fresh, sparkly new tracks. Whatever it may be, get it uploaded.